I'd like to now turn it over to Courtney Greiner, marine ecologist with the Swinomish Indian Tribal Community. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Laura. My name is Courtney Greiner. I work in the Fisheries Department for Swinomish Indian Tribal Community. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm speaking from my home in Coast Salish territory on traditional Nooksack land. Thank you for the invitation to participate on this panel, and happy 25th anniversary to the Climate Impacts Group. Your work in close collaboration with tribal communities has enabled much of the climate change work that's occurring at Swinomish. So thank you for all that you do. Next slide, please. So my work at Swinomish Fisheries focuses on identifying and addressing climate change impacts on shellfish resources. One main concern is the loss of clam habitat due to sea level rise and increased wave energy. The Swinomish Reservation is located on a low-lying island near LaConner, Washington, and the area has already seen the damage rising sea levels can do when combined with extreme weather events. In 2006, water levels were several feet above normal during a couple of winter storms, which resulted in flooding, shoreline alterations, and community isolation. This got many in the community concerned, not only about future risks to infrastructure, but tribally important marine resources. Next slide, please. The loss of traditional harvest sites and decreases in clam abundance impact food security and the subsistence economy, as well as cultural identity. For the Swinomish people, clams play an important role in the moral and cultural belief system. Clam harvests provide opportunities for tribal members to exercise their treaty rights, access a nutritious local source of protein, and provide educational opportunities where elders can share teachings with youth that reinforce community values like stewardship and reciprocity. Next slide. In response to these concerns, we started looking into the ancient practice of clam gardening as a climate adaptation strategy. The practice consists of a variety of habitat enhancement techniques aimed to increase clam production. There are relics of this management strategy along the northwest coast of America, and some in British Columbia have been dated to be 3,000 years old. While the construction and maintenance of a garden is unique to its location and the individuals caring for it, there are some common features. For one, the typical garden has a low permeable rock wall that parallels the shore and is only visible during extreme low tides. Next slide. Over time, as sediment and broken shell fills in behind the wall, the beach flattens out, increasing the amount of habitat available at the optimal tidal elevation for clam production. Indigenous knowledge holders also describe tending and maintenance practices to promote clam growth and survival. Next slide. The benefits of these clam gardens appear to be numerous. Recent ecological studies have found that within historical clam gardens, the abundance and size of native little neck and butter clams, which are two native tribally important species, are much greater than on unmodified beaches. Other fauna and flora also inhabit the beach and the rock wall, providing a local source for other edible species like sea urchins, sea cucumbers, and increase the presence of other habitat-forming species like kelp. Next slide. We believe clam gardens have a strong potential as a climate adaptation strategy. There's evidence that clam garden features can be adapted to changing sea levels by modifying the elevation at which the wall is constructed. Additionally, there's potential for the wall to reduce the intensity of waves hitting the shore and protect the upland area from erosion, as well as provide hospitable conditions for clams as seawater temperatures warm and acidify, all projected impacts from climate change. Next slide. In the last decade, there's been a push among coastal communities to bring clam gardening back into current resource management use. We have proposed to build the first clam garden in modern times on the Swinomish Reservation. Our goals are to maximize ecological and cultural benefits to the tribe, assess long-term effects of a clam garden on the nearshore environment, and provide an example for other coastal communities to sustainably increase clam production. Because clam gardening is an active management practice that requires both appropriate biophysical conditions and community engagement to succeed, the Fisheries Department and Community Environmental Health Program are collaborating on the project, and we're using a community-based participation approach. Next slide. Over the past 2 years, we've narrowed down the 3,000 tribally owned tideland acres on the reservation to just a handful of potential sites using a variety of ecological and sociocultural metrics. We've received community input on the top sites and presented the results to the Tribal Senate, who recently selected a location to build the clam garden. We are now completing permit applications and will begin collecting pre-construction data this coming spring and summer. We're also looking at funds to purchase material to build the wall and support community work events during which the wall will be constructed. We've got a long way to go, but we're really excited about the work we've conducted to date and the growing support for the project within the community. We've already heard from several tribal members on the importance of this work and the revival of Indigenous practices to promote traditional foods and increase community resilience to climate change. And we're really looking forward to beginning the transformation on the beach and furthering engagement in the community. Last slide. And of course, this is a massive project and cannot be completed without all of these amazing people and groups and funders as well. Thank you.